I was born in London, in an area called Lambeth. I'm one of seven. I've got 4 brothers, 2 sisters, including me. My home life as a child was quite dysfunctional. My dad was alcoholic. When things got too much for him and he drank, he would just explode. You know, my mum got the brunt of most of it, of the violence. There was a lot of violence towards my older brother. If my brother would try to defend my mum, they ended up splitting up when I was 10 years old. My mum moved to the top of the hill. My dad lived at the bottom. Didn't really see my dad a lot. My mum, she worked 3 jobs to support the family. She used to go to church. At the age of 10, I used to go Sunday school, used to do the youth groups during the week. My life as a young child was basically school, home and church. That was my life, you know. Very academic at school. I was good at English and history. I was quite good at history. Used to get straight A's. When I was about 12, I disclosed a family secret within the church, and my mum was very upset about it. I got in serious trouble. I really got a serious beating. Yeah. And she was angry. Everything around that time was a bit negative. I was being bullied at school. And then I ended up taking an overdose. Took the tablets and went to bed. But obviously I expected not to wake up. But I remember my mum coming in the room in the morning, and she was waking me up, telling me that it's time to go to school. When she saw that she couldn't rouse me, she went under the pillow, she found a note, and then I heard her scream and asked my sister to call the ambulance. Ambulance was called. I was blue lighted to the hospital. Heard the doctors telling my mum, because I'd written what I took in the note, they're saying if I had taken the tablets the other way around, I probably wouldn't be alive. When I was 13, the relative of someone that used to go to the church that I attended started a relationship with me at the age of 13, and he was 10 years older than me. You know, looking back, it was, as a big woman now, I see that as grooming. That relationship continued for a good while. At the age of 15, I fell pregnant with my first child. I left hospital on my 16th birthday with a baby, and not much longer after that, he disappeared from our lives. So I was just left with a baby at 16 years old. You know, he had a wife. Probably because she found out, he disappeared off the scene, and just left me with the baby. Yeah, when I was 17, I left home with my baby and went into a mother and baby's unit. I got myself into another relationship, abusive, violent. I ended up leaving that relationship into another one. This person, I ended up taking drugs, and then it progressed from, it was crack cocaine at first, and then heroin, alcohol, pills, you name it, it was everything. Within a quite short space of time, my life just spiraled out of control. My kids, 4 children I had at the time, they were with me. My mum and my sister stepped in, and fortunately, my sister took one and my mum had 3, because I had 4 children at that time. And then I had 2 children in addiction. I was a full-blown addict, and I was desperate for change. I went into rehab on 4 different occasions. Every time I went back, I would just relapse and go full-blown back into addiction. And then in 2014, I was offered a chance to go back into rehab again. And I jumped at the chance because I thought that it might be my last chance and I might not get it again. I came down to Bournemouth in October 2014. Inside the rehab, they would take us to church on a Sunday. That's where I reconnected with God again. For years, I had pushed God out. Through attending church, through the rehab, and And the 12-step program, that's where I started to get a new understanding of God. I started to feel happy again, which I never thought I could. I used to wonder, how am I going to live life in that without drugs? But through attending church and reconnecting with God, my life couldn't have been better. Through prayer and studying the Bible, finding that inner power and strength, my life gradually started to be transformed. Finally happy. I have a real life, one that's filled with joy, contentment and peace and marriage. Put that bit in there. I've been drug and alcohol free now since October 2014. So that's October will be 11 years this year. I can truly say God is the answer, because it's Him that's transformed me from the state that I was in to the peace and joy that I have today. Drugs robbed me. It did rob and destroy me for a period of time. Took me to some serious dark places. But once I found God, He brought me to a place of light and of joy and of hope.